We have Titi Fagbemi. She's an artist who specializes in portraits, as you can see all around me, line symbols, and also plenty more. We'll be talking about her expressions right now. You are welcome, Titi. Good to have you here.
Thank you so much. Great to
to
be here.
I always like to start this session out by asking artists what they tag their expressions as, what they define their art as.
So I think my art is essentially a way of expression. So what I like to do is I focus a lot on portraits because I think you can tell a lot from a person's face, whether it's their experience, whether it's some title, you know, their culture or some societal thing that I'm trying to address. So I just term it as a way to just show that expression, you know, in a very innate way.
So do you tell stories with these expressions, with these faces, these portraits that you put on paints? What kind of stories do you tell? Are they social? Are they advocative? Or are they just personal? Or just feel good?
It's like a mix of everything, actually. So some are personal, some are, if I'm going to a particular phase, I could do a painting where I feel like I need to be focused. So it's going to be based on being focused. I could do something where it's based on a societal issue, maybe about the girl child, and then I would do a painting based on that. And then I could do one based on historical context, whether maybe one about Biafra, what happened during that time, what was the effect on the children.
I like the epic set. That's actually my kind of thing. Just before we came on, you and I were talking about how you got started. It's a very interesting story. Before we go into talking about these specific forms we're seeing here, how did you get started exactly? When did you get started? That's the kicker.
Okay. So I got started with art professionally just a couple of years ago, but it started as a hobby. So I've always liked art since when I was a kid. But what really did it for me was I thought I was good. I was in about SS1, and then I did a drawing for, and then my cousin was like, "No, you're not good." And I wanted to show him that I'm good. No, please. So what I did was I did a sketch. I thought it was one of the best sketches I've done, and he looked at it and said, "This is ugly," and it broke my heart. But then since then, I started drawing all the time, every day, and then I got better. And then, you know, going through uni and going through all of that, I just decided to take it up, like it's something where I could make money from it. And then in 2017, I made my first original artwork, which I sold for very, very small money.
Do you want to tell us how much?
It was about 15K.
Okay.
But I mean, we've grown from that. And yeah, so we're trying to just make because I'm still very much, it's still very much early in my career.
Nice.
So I'm still just trying to be more
Now, I love that you started from a place where people said you can't do it and you try to prove them wrong. This is how many villains are actually formed. You can't have a Lex Luthor without a Superman.
Exactly.
But hey, Super Lady, let's talk about these art forms. Let's start with a very small piece here, which is a very minute portrait of someone, I don't know who. What is it called? What is it about?
So it's called...
you can carry it up, you know. There.
Okay.
Good, grand. Let's take a look at that.
Fantastic. So it's called Transcendence. It's
Transcendence.
Nice. Yeah. So it's based on the African woman. So I was inspired when I read some McKinsey reports. I was in uni when I actually did this sometime in 2018 in my final year.
Was that pencil or what?
It's gel ink pen. Here is, you know, it's color pencils, and then around it is gel ink pen.
These are intricate markings that you had to do yourself.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that took
me
a lot of time.
A long time. It was just stuck on my table in uni. So these symbols are actually Adinkra symbols, and they have meanings. So ranging from beauty to understanding to wisdom. Adinkra symbols are they are known as West African Ghanaian symbols. That's where they came from. So yeah, it's just a very deep, intricate piece that I just did to be able to appreciate the African woman and how much they are doing and how great they are.
Oh, it's very beautiful. Yeah. All right, let's move to the one right by you there. What is that about? Yes.
So this one, it's a digital piece, actually.
Digital?
Yeah, but I printed it out on canvas. Okay. So I did it sometime during the pandemic. So, you know, the pandemic was such a rough phase for a whole lot of people.
That's the word, raw. Very, very true. A lot of discoveries happened then.
Honestly, yeah. So, you know, I had a lot of time to create more digital work to get better at my craft, but at the same time, art for me was like a safe space. So what I did was I was translating whatever I was feeling into art. So I called this The Dawn. The Dawn. So it was more or less just like right after lockdown was being lifted up.
An awakening.
Exactly. Thank you. So it was just, you know, right after they were lifting up the lockdown and all of that. So I just saw it as it's a way where you can, like you said, an awakening where you're, you know, it depends on whether you want to look at things the bad way, because there's actually an inverse of this painting as a second of it that's a bit darker. So do you want to look at life in a way where you embrace it, which is this part, or do you want to look at it in a way where you just diminish yourself and you just don't want to be awake. You don't want to be part of all of that.
I get that. Now, there's this one here.
Yeah.
Tell us about that one, what it's called. And
so it's called Between the Crossfire.
Between the Crossfire.
Yeah, so it's a homage to the kids in the Biafran war that died.
Nice.
So if you look at history, you sort of know that children were the ones that died the most from hunger and the like during that time. So the kids were essentially the children that were dying from hunger were caught between the crossfire because they were sort of having the consequences of the actions that they didn't take part in. The actions of the older people that were the ones, either perpetrating the war or just trying to survive from the war.
You're not from that part of the country, are you?
No, I'm not, but
your art transcends everywhere then. That's beautiful.
Exactly.
That's
I like to either educate, tell people about emotions, or also educate just about history so that it still lies in the heart of everyone.
You talked about this digital form, which we have another one here, by the way, which I think is very beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
Now, it's also digital, but
Yes,
exactly how do you get from, do you have to paint these first before translating into digital form, into print?
So my process is pretty interesting. So a lot of times I do the actual traditional sketch, and then I have an iPad, and then I translate from my sketch pad to then my iPad, and then I paint. So that transition
is very, very. Are you capable of making your art on digital formats? So you can actually draw on your iPad, can you?
Yeah, I can.
How different is it? Is it easy?
Actually, so I would say it is a bit easier because you take less time. There isn't the chore of mixing
preparing your canvas.
Yeah, mixing paint and all of that. So because you already have the paint, you just have to know what color do you want to use. But it does still take a bit of time, especially depending on what you're trying to achieve.
I love it.
Thank you.
Now, this one here, right by me, what is it?
So it's called Radically Focused. It's a portrait based on, so I was going through a phase where I felt like, okay, I need to get my life together. I need to feel like I'm focused at what what I want to do.
You do have a day job, by the way.
Yes, I do.
Okay. And you combine that with this?
Yes, I do.
Was that the phase you were referring to?
Something related to that, actually. So I just thought like, okay, I need to just have an idea of what I want to do and how I want to do it. So that's why I termed it Radical Focus. So it's, she's holding a candle light. It's like, in the midst of darkness, I really just want to stay focused on what I want to do.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Lastly is the one on the other end, which I think you are emotionally attached to because you came in with it all wrapped and everything. It was so delicately handled and all, and I'm thinking that this must be very special to you. Exactly why? Why is it special?
So I did that a couple of months ago. Actually, it was for an exhibition over in the exhibition by Elect Her. So essentially, it's called Dare to Dream, and what the idea is just the girl child, the female child. Before she knows about the societal issues, the societal norms, what people expect from her. As a female child that grew up with a lot of boys. I wanted to do everything. If they're playing football, I want to play football. If they're playing basketball, I want to play basketball. But at some point, you have people telling you, yeah, girl, don't do that. Yeah, girl, don't do that. So it's just that the period before those norms are imposed on you, it's like, I want to be able to dare to dream and feel like that little 5-year-old girl.
I mean, your expressions are absolutely fantastic. I think you do an amazing job. You also have that piece there, which we've run out of time. I would really love to talk about it, but you've got some art on a piece of fashion there. Yeah. This is another thing that you're going into, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Well, hey, we would love to see more of that. And one more thing I'd like you to do, please, for the rest of the world is you can't keep that face to yourself. It's a beautiful face. You are into portraits. Would like to see you make a portrait of yourself. You've got very unique eyes. I think you should actually put on canvas.
Thank you.
Titi, thank you very much for coming
so
on.
Much.
We love the fact that you have shared with us your expressions here.
Thank you. It's been such a lovely time. Thank you.
And hey, if you're out there and you like this, of course, you know where you can reach her. We've got her Instagram handle on the bottom of the TV where you can actually find her. Thank you very much. Do stay tuned. We've got more coming your way. We're going to be going into the kitchen very soon and finding out exactly what Mike is up to with our chef. Stay tuned. It's Wake Up Nigeria.